What's going on, gangsters? Movie John 75 here, and I hope you had a Merry Christmas. I'm here in the new setup, as you remember in the last video where I showed off how me and the lady fixed up my corner of goodness here with my VHS and my DVDs and my comics and everything else. It's been grand, and I just love this setup. This is the best setup I've ever had. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Rogue One, yeah. After Christmas, I had a few extra days off and decided me and the lady have a date night, and we got to go out and see Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Now, going into this film, I really didn't know what to expect because I didn't really watch a whole lot, but I did see a few characters here and there that I did have no clue who the hell was, and I'm thinking, I don't know if this is actually going to be a good film, but I'm going to try it out anyway. So I decided to go see it, and it was awesome. It really was. It was actually pretty damn good. But if you've never seen a damn Star Wars film in your life, apparently you've been living on another fucking planet. You shouldn't see this movie. You should go back and watch all the other ones. Now, here in the past year, or maybe close to, I guess it's been a little over a year, my lady never had seen none of these Star Wars movies. So we started off, but no, when I was a kid, of course, I got to see Return of the Jedi in the theaters. I'm not really for sure if that was actually the first Star Wars movie I ever seen, but I did see it in the theater. I don't know if I've seen the other two before that, because I was so young, gangsters. I can't remember shit like that nowadays. I just remember going to the damn theater, you know what I mean? So, anyway, that was like 83, 84, I guess, and I was like 7, 8 years old. It was just Star Wars, man. You had all these toys and you had everything back then, and you still do now. Star Wars was never going to die. But the thing is, I got her to watch the prequels first. We watched episode 1, 2, and 3. Then we went to 4, 5, and 6 because I wanted the first time in my life after, you went from 83 or 84 all the way up to 99 without seeing a Star Wars movie. Then you decide you got to see the prequels, and I seen all of them in the theater too. And last year I got to see The Force Awakens. So before we went to go see that, that's when we watched 1 through 6 within, I think it was 2, maybe 3 days. We watched them all. And that's the way I want her to see it, so she wouldn't be thrown off by 7. So, because you're going to see the little Ewoks dance at the end of Return of the Jedi, and everything's all good, Darth Vader's dead and all that. And then you get to go to now, because it makes more sense. You get to see Han Solo, and you get to see Leia, and you get to see Luke Skywalker as they're older now, because it's been that many damn years, and So I thought that was good for us to do that. I never did do a video on The Force Awakens. I just didn't get around to doing it. I wish I would have. But now, Rogue One, I get to explain to her where the hell this is at. This is in between 3 and 4. Then I had to explain to her how 3 ended, because she's only watched them once. And then how 4 began and everything. And it's really a good 3.5 is what I want to call it, because, it's a big gap there between 3 and 4. I guess I would say around 20 years, because at the end of 3, episode 3, you got little baby Leia, and Luke getting shipped off different places, and so there was a big fill in there. I mean, I don't understand why they didn't do it right after the prequels or something, down the road. But George Lucas sold to Disney, and guess what? Disney is all about making the big fucking money. And by God, they're putting it out there now. As soon as they bought it, within a year, we had The Force Awakens, episode 8. Normally, back in the days, you would have a Star Wars movie every 3 years when I was growing up, and even when the prequels came out, they were every 3 years. Well, we had episode 7, The Force Awakens, and within a year, we got Rogue One, and people are like, what the hell's Rogue One? And it's actually prequel. It's in between 3 and 4. I think we've already discussed that. I'm kind of going back and forth. This movie, I thought was really great. to fill in the 3 and 4. Man, I'll tell you what. And guess what? Peter Cushing back from the motherfucking dead. Woo! Did that shit look good or what? If you ain't seen Rogue One, the Star Wars story, then I just gave it away there. Maybe not. You should know he's going to be in it. He was in The New Hope, you know what I mean? But doing the CGI like that, that was great. I couldn't, oh my God. I was like, man, that is so realistic, so great. I was like, damn, that was just great. What's next? Is Christopher Lee coming back now? I mean, who knows how that happens? Not just with Star Wars, say other movies. I think I've heard something about Fast and the Furious did something like that with Paul Walker. I'm not really into them. I've seen some of them. I didn't get to see the newest one, so I don't know if it's like that or not or what happened. But somebody said something like that, I remember. And so I'm just wondering, can you imagine that, doing that with, like, say you made a Western and you wanted to bring back John Wayne. You know, imagine that. Or imagine you did a comedy and wanted to bring back Richard Pryor. I mean, imagine if they really wanted to start doing that. Would that be the new thing that starts off like, you know, back in the days, remakes was real big and stuff, and this was good, and that was, you know, people copying everybody. You can imagine that happening now, bringing people back from the dead. That would be kind of spooky in a little way, and this was a little eerie too. To me it was, but it was great to see him back. And I'm not really telling the rest of the whole story, but, you know, eventually, you know, the people that's in this movie's got to die. You know, they're going to end up getting killed. And you're going to eventually see either Luke or Leia. But then you're thinking, well, no, it's probably just going to be Princess Leia. And I was not disappointed at all. I give it 5 stars. And Princess Leia showed up at the end. Sad thing is, after I watched that movie, I came out of the theater and I found out that Carrie Fisher died. Rest in peace, Carrie Fisher. That was really eerie to see that, and then find out she passed away. I heard that they already filmed episode 8. I don't know what it's called yet, but I heard they already filmed that, so she's going to be in that. Kind of wondering what they're going to do with 9 eventually, whenever it comes out in a few years. But from a year from now, we're going to get episode 8, and she's going to be in it. So that's going to be good to see, and I guess maybe her final film. She passed away, I think 60 years old, had a heart attack. I heard a few days ago that she had the heart attack, but then it was real bad, and then she was doing better, and, you know, then I found out she passed away, and it's sad to say, but, you know, coming out of the theater, watching that movie, it was pretty cool to see them bring her back, and, you know, I think she was 19 when she first did the first Star Wars, so, you know, it leads right up to A New Hope. I mean, within probably minutes. I mean, it's pretty cool. And you had other cameos, R2-D2, C-3PO. There was one guy that's in one of them, the bar scene. It's got the funky looking eye that got on the Luke Skywalker, and he's in it. That other damn thing, I can't remember. I'm not real good with names on some of these damn characters. Had the butt face, whatever. He was in it, and then you had Smits, I can't remember his first name, from the prequels. He was in it. And it's a good overall story. It's basically about getting the plans from the Death Star, you know, and you know where the plans end up later on, so you kind of know what's going to happen in the story. And you know, they got a chick that is taking over again, just like what was that other chick's name, Ridley or something like that. I can't remember what her name is. I'm just not good with names like this, especially with newcomers and shit from The Force Awakens. But you know what I'm talking about. Female role, how about that? We'll just go by that. A female role. Perfect movie. I wasn't disappointed at all. It was just great. I recommend it to go find it. But the cool thing is now, when you get your Blu-ray, when it comes out, you can actually watch episode 1, 2, and 3. Put in the 3.5 Rogue One, then you got 4, 5, and 6, and 7, and by that time 8 will be out. I mean, it's really cool. A lot of people might get confused by going back and forth so much, but they really can't. I mean, I guess they could just, they really need to just keep going forward, I think. But it was cool to fill in that gap. Now, I don't know if there's any other gaps to fill in. I hear about Han Solo. You know, they might do a solo movie, him and Boba Fett. I don't really know how the hell that can work out. But who knows? I mean, you as a comic reader and stuff, they go back and forth and they add shit and change shit. And, I mean, you think about comic books, how much stuff you can do. Well, hell, why can't you just do it in the movies? Let's go back and let's do this, or let's go back and do that, and then let's go forward. You know, to newcomers, though, I say, I'm talking about the little bitty kids. I know y'all think the old Star Wars movies are boring as shit. But man, to understand it and get into it, you got to watch them. And to me, I always say watch 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6. The way it's supposed to be, intended to be. You know, there's a lot of stuff wrong with every movie. I know a lot of you out there talking shit about the prequels. But there's a lot of shit that's wrong with the other ones too. They're just here and there. This by far, I think, might be one of the best made Star Wars movies out there right now. And The Force Awakens is pretty good too. But right now, it's right on the top of the list. I mean, it kicks ass, believe me. It really does, gangsters. But, you know, I don't know what else to say about it. It was just good. You need to check it out. It's my thoughts. I'm not really talking about the whole what happened in the movie. A lot of people probably still ain't seen it. But I just want to say, you know, rest in peace, Carrie Fisher. It's been great. I grew up watching Star Wars movies. And I wasn't real fortunate to have them on VHS or anything for a few years once the VCR stuff started coming out. You know, I just watched them when they was on TV sometimes. And I think that made it better because there for a while I didn't watch them that many times. So when they did come on, damn, I was just amazed. And I just was sitting right in front of the TV watching them. And like I said, I got to see Return of the Jedi as a kid. And that was pretty damn awesome back in the day to be 8 years old. So you got to be from that era to really understand and really dig them old movies. And then fill in the gaps. Now, newer people to watch the new one, the Rogue One, and they might not have seen the old ones. They've seen the prequels, and then they go real far in the future to see Episode 7, and they're all screwed up in the head to me. That's what I'm thinking. That would all fuck with my head real bad. But growing up, and I thought I was right age to see them when you were a kid. Wait all them years, watch the prequels, and now Disney's doing all kinds of crazy shit with Star Wars. Star Wars will never die, apparently. I don't have my, what do you call it? My tripod yet. I got a stand here, and I got some Star Wars boxes that is sitting on top that I'm looking at, Darth Vader, Star Wars, and it's cool to look at that and actually talk about it. But go see Rogue One in your theaters, gangsters. Rest in peace to Carrie Fisher. And I can't wait to see what they do next with Episode 8. And then after that, if they're going to do another prequel somewhere down the line, or Han Solo, they're going to have a young Han Solo. And who knows? I mean, like I said, this movie, I was kind of not expecting a whole lot for a minute. And it turned out to be pretty damn good, so... It's my thoughts. Might be some long thoughts. Hopefully you watch this whole damn video if you really dig my videos and you like Star Wars. Until next time.